Welcome back. The threat of defunding is something that's looming over certain police forces in the United States, following the violent protests triggered by George Floyd's death in Minneapolis. Several attorney generals have pushed back against that move, though, stating without police there's no guarantee of security, and it's a stance fully backed by President Trump. Police unions, meanwhile, are calling on the public not to hate all officers for the crimes of one policeman.
I am not Derek Chauvin. They are not him. He killed someone. We didn't. We are restrained. And you know what? I'm saying this to all the cops here. Because you know what? Everybody's trying to shame us. The legislators, the press, everybody's trying to shame us into being embarrassed about our profession. Well, you know what? This isn't stained by someone in Minneapolis. It's still got a shine on it. And so do theirs. So do theirs.
There are reports that the White House plans to reveal its own police reform soon. But for now, some cities have already expressed their intent to cut funding for their forces. RT's Kelly Maupin explains how law enforcement's become something of a scapegoat at the moment for US society.
Public attitudes toward policing in the United States are dramatically changing. In light of protesters calling to disband the police, the entire institution is being rethought, and not just in the way that it relates to racism and brutality. Funding for police departments is being cut and redirected.
We will be moving funding from the NYPD to youth initiatives and social services.
Plans are now in the works to disband entire departments in local areas.
We are going to dismantle the Minneapolis Police Department. And when we are done, we're not simply going to glue it back together. We are going to dramatically rethink how we approach public safety and emergency response. It's really past due.
I think this was a week where a decade happened. I think we all finally caught up to something we should have caught up to a long, long, long time ago.
I don't agree with dismantling the police because things will get out of control. You need the police. I mean, you just got to weed out the bad ones.
Tell me they trying to take action. Like, they finally trying to stand up for us now. Like, not only for, like, black people, but they trying to stand up for everybody. It's not right what they doing, so I think they should have been started this, doing what they doing.
For years, Americans have enjoyed watching reality TV programs where camera crews follow officers around as they bust people, but not anymore. A&E has canceled Live PD, and Paramount has pulled the plug on season 33 of the once widely popular program Cops. Businesses are now trying to protect their image. Voices are even blaming the police for global warming.
It's impossible to disentangle the various threads of environmental racism and its ties with policing. The history of redlining and police-enforced segregation has led to massive, hotter neighborhoods and more people with chronic health problems tied to air pollution.
University students are now demanding that their campus stop collaborating with local law enforcement.
We ask for a detailed public statement on the chain of events, decisions and command lines that led to the use of this facility by LAPD and its mobile processing units last evening. We also ask for an immediate cessation of the use of this facility or any other UCLA facility by LAPD and other police forces.
Teachers are now questioning the role of police in schools.
Take money out of the school police department and put it directly into mental health support, counselors, academic counselors.
In light of the stereotype about cops eating donuts, one pastry shop has taken a stand as well.
We are fed up. Until local police takes action to solve problems with racism and injustice, Ali's Donuts will choose to stand with the people of our great state. We will no longer offer military or police discounts. Thank you for your service, and shame on you for your silence.
The U.S. government still has plenty of laws on the books, and it's going to need somebody to enforce them. Now, a lot of big dramatic proposals are being put forward, and a lot of loud words are being exchanged. But how much will U.S. society actually change? We will just have to see. Caleb Maupin, RT, New York.
Retired Seattle police officer Steve Pomper told us living in a society without police sounds more like a utopian myth.
You know, the police protect society, and they're supposed to be the first business of government is to protect society. And if you have no police and you take that money and put it into wherever, it doesn't matter. I don't see how reducing community services can improve the safety of any community. If you want to believe in some sort of utopian myth where all of a sudden everybody's going to get along, I mean, I heard one of the solutions was to send rapid deployment social workers out. I mean, you're not going to send somebody like that out against violent criminals. And I think people, they're just forgetting about it. They have some sort of a myth versus reality. They want it to be peaceful so much that they think they can will it into existence. And there are some people that are just not going to cooperate. You think about any town, is any business going to stay in a town that doesn't have police protection? I can tell you throughout my career, I was going to businesses all the time who needed police protection. Without the police, they would be overrun with problems. And then the other part would be just insurance. When a business wants to get insurance, what insurance company is going to want to sponsor the business or insure the business if there's no police protection? It would be the same thing as if there wasn't any fire protection. They wouldn't do it. If you don't have security, you can't basically operate or function as a society.
RT America's Rick Sanchez also discussed calls to defund police with former Minnesota Governor Jesse Ventura.
Governor, what do you make of the argument that maybe we need to start funding other things besides police officers? That doesn't mean that all police officers are bad. It just means that maybe we ought to mix it up a little bit more.
Well, and it also means we need to start looking to the root of the problem. And the root of the problem just isn't police brutality. The root of the problem is economic brutality too, and all of that. And when you talk about the funding, I'd like to add too, Rick, I was a governor or a mayor also. I was the mayor of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, the 6th largest city. And when they talk about defunding the police, I'd like to get this clear. That doesn't mean they're throwing the cops out and you won't have police protection anymore. What they mean is by allocating and pushing funds. I think it was Camden, New Jersey did it. And they literally destroyed their whole police force, rebuilt it up from the base up. And today I heard some figure that crime is down like 43% from what it used to be there. And now you've got truly community policing going on. I think another thing that needs to happen, cops need to live in the towns where they police.
Could not agree more.